Good afternoon, fellow Bolshevists. It is now day 3 post-op. So it is now Sunday. I had the operation on Thursday. It's now Sunday. So I have now finished the immobilization phase. So the first kind of couple of days post-op, I kind of just didn't move around much, just alternated between elevating the leg and icing it, compressing it, just essentially just trying to rest, trying to allow the initial bit of healing of the wounds to happen, protect the work that the surgeons have done. That's done now, and today I've started the protective phase, which is where you're still protecting the injury and the work that they've done, but you're now starting up some physiotherapy, starting to get range of movement going, starting to get some strength back in those muscles, and that's been challenging. I've started today and I'm going to do it again in a little bit. It was definitely more challenging than I expected. I don't seem to remember it being that tough before, but I thought that I would have more strength in my leg than I do. A lot of the strength has gone, pretty much all of it actually. When I was in the hospital, the physiotherapist asked me to do a leg lift, and I did it, and he seemed pretty impressed that I could do that at the time. However, I cannot do one now, so it's 3 days later, and I can't do a leg lift, which obviously is something I could do pretty easily before, but I'm going to have to build to that. I just can't do it. So it really shows just how quickly that strength just vanishes. But on the plus side, my range of movement is pretty good. I got to like 90 degrees-ish earlier, and I didn't think that would happen that quickly. I thought I'd have to really build to that. It definitely didn't happen this quickly last time. Last time I spent the first week or so in a brace, and it just took ages. But that was really good and wasn't too painful either. It wasn't too much of an exertion. I don't particularly want to push too hard into it. I don't really feel like that's the way to approach something like this. But what really helped me with my physio, I showed this off a little bit in my prep vid, is this electromuscular stimulator. Basically a TENS machine that sends electricity into the quad. I might make another short video showing how I used it, because that really helped. What that did was I had to be very gentle with it and adjust it and ramp up the power very slowly. But essentially what it did was it forced my muscle to work. It forced the muscle to contract, which you wouldn't think you would need. You would think that you can, work your own muscle, but actually it's pretty difficult to get your muscle firing. So I'm glad that I had that, because that really helped, and I could control how much I wanted it to contract, and kind of lower it as I needed to when I wanted to rest. Generally, I'm having I'd say I'm having a pretty positive experience so far. It's fine. It's obviously not cool being disabled. Everything's a big effort. Having to constantly kind of shift your weight around as you try and move around, just moving to the bathroom, coming back, having to kind of take the effort to really balance yourself and make sure that you're moving objects out of your way, because it's a lot easier to move. If there's an item in your way, usually you can just walk around it, right? If there's something in your house and it's just in your way, a laundry basket or something, you just walk around it, no big deal, right? But when you're in a situation like this, it's moving yourself is so much harder than moving other things. I can pick something up with my arms and move it reasonably easy, but moving myself around something is annoying. Just moving from one side of the toilet to the other, that's such a hassle. And so that's an interesting thing to have to grapple with. Doing a lot of balance work, a lot of kind of, I guess, calisthenics style kind of exercise, just having to do normal things, which I'm really trying not to do. I'm trying to do as little as possible. actually, and just gradually build up. Today I managed to make it down the stairs and sit downstairs for a little bit, which was good. Get a bit of natural sunlight, which was nice. I had to be very slow, very careful about it because there's only railings halfway up here, so I had to negotiate the top half of the staircase without railings, which was a little bit touch and go, but I think it was okay. I was careful, so I didn't fall or anything. Not being on as much pain medication this time round, I'm much more aware of the improvements that I'm actually making. Last time I just had no pain. I was on pain meds, I was on strong opiates, synthetic morphine from the start. This time I've only taken one so far, and it was the evening before last because I just needed to sleep and I was in too much pain and discomfort to be able to sleep properly. It was interfering with me. So I just took one, but it, put me out pretty good, slept through. Didn't need one last night, so I didn't take one, and I don't foresee that I'm going to need one tonight particularly. Maybe that'll change. If I need one, I'll take one because you have to sleep. But so far so good without them, only taking the one. They gave me a week's supply, so having had one in 3 days is not really that much. But I'm definitely aware that I'm in less pain and less discomfort now than I was a couple of days ago. And it's really good to have that feedback and to feel how your body's getting on. Even though the changes are small, it's really helpful to be aware of them, because last time I did this operation, I think my expectations were all over the place, and I kind of expected to heal really quickly. I expected the swelling would go down really quickly, and it just didn't. It took a long time before the swelling went down. It took a long time before I got range of movement back. And I just wasn't prepared for that. Whereas this time, I'm kind of got the opposite view. I kind of expected it to take a long time, and so when I feel small incremental improvements, I'm like, oh, that's great. Then, oh, that doesn't hurt like it did yesterday. Oh, brilliant. That's really positive. So yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. In terms of physio, I'm pretty much just doing. I'm doing what the program they've given me. They've given me like a bunch of sheets with these exercises on them, and I'm sticking to them, but with a few adjustments based on some research I've done. So based on some pretty good stuff that I've read, I'm involving the electrical stimulation, and I'm doing that while I'm doing the physio. So I'm getting that extra muscle stimulation going. I'm also doing some of the exercises while standing. So what I'm starting to do is, for example, I've got like a quads exercise here where I just try and like engage the quad and just tense the quad, straighten the leg and just engage the quad. And rather than just doing that on the bed, I'm also standing up, putting a little bit of weight on the leg, starting to just gradually shift my weight over to the bad leg, and then engaging the quad. And this is supposed to be very helpful. And it felt pretty good. It felt like remarkably strong and stable doing it. And then using the electrical stimulation while I do that as well, doing all three of those, while I'm standing up, tensing the quad and running the charge through my quad. That was really, really good. So that felt really positive to me. It felt like a really good little workout. It wasn't too hard in terms of I wasn't sitting there dripping with sweat or anything, but it was hard in terms of getting my muscles to just respond, just getting the body to respond to me like I know it should be able to. Was very hard, and there were a couple of exercises which I just couldn't do. The things which involved raising my leg up, there's about 2 exercises I think that involved just getting part of the leg up without using my hands for support or anything, just lifting it up, and that was really hard. Much harder than I expected, actually. I expected that I'd be able to do that at least to some extent, but it'll come. So yeah, positive. What I might do, there doesn't seem to be a great deal about this on YouTube, although there is one video that shows placement for the neuromuscular stimulation. So what I might do is I might video myself placing those electrodes on my quad, and then kind of show you how I do it. And I'll link to the video where I got that as well, so they can get a bit of exposure too, because I did just nick it off them, but they seem to be the only ones. So I'll probably do that next. Okay? Cool.